much, Madam Speaker, and thank you very much to my colleague from Langley Aldergrove for his intervention on this issue as well, and for all the hard work that he has done to raise awareness about these unfair tax changes. And I think one of the things that concerns me the most with this entire debate and what has transpired over the last 4 months is whether they meant to or not, the Liberal government is trying to depict and paint small business owners, farmers, ranchers, professionals across Canada as tax cheats. People who live in gated communities and somehow are circumnavigating the system, have these secret bank accounts in the Cayman Islands that they aren't paying their fair share. Well, it's obviously clear that the Liberal members have not met my constituents. The rural doctor who takes that midnight call, the small business owner who works endlessly and hour after hour to ensure that their business can be successful. They haven't met the farmer who works the 16-hour workday during harvest to try and get his harvest in the bin. They haven't met the cattle rancher who braves the bitter cold at night during calving season. These are the small and medium-sized enterprises that these tax changes will hurt. So to me, it just goes to show how out of touch the Liberal government is with actual hard-working Canadians. Our small business owners, our entrepreneurs, our risk takers, our job creators. These are the ones that they are proposing to always help, but these are the ones that these tax changes will absolutely hurt. So today I stand to rise and speak on behalf of the thousands of my constituents who have voiced their concerns with these unfair tax changes. And their first question is, why are they trying to do this so quickly? Why are they trying to devastate small businesses? Why are they trying to take away my family farm? So our motion today, I think, is quite genuine. Will they extend that consultation period into January 31st, 2018? To try and make these substantial changes in just 4 months is simply impossible. To say that you are listening to Canadians when a vast majority of our farmers and ranchers are in the fields during harvest. Many of our professionals and small business owners just simply aren't paying attention to these things during their busy summer season. I don't think we are asking, I know we're not asking too much when we put a motion forward to the Liberal government. If you are so confident that these changes aren't going to hurt small business, if you're so confident that these changes that you are putting forward are not going to end the family farm, if you're so confident that these changes aren't going to hurt our professionals and impact access to health care in rural communities, if you're that confident, then you will not oppose extending this consultation period to truly hear from Canadians, because that is not what they have done so far. But I don't think they're going to. I think later on this afternoon, they're going to vote against our motion, despite massive opposition from Canadians across the country. The Prime Minister and the Finance Minister have been quite vocal, quite open. They fully intend to move ahead with these tax changes, regardless about what comes out of the consultation over the last 72 days. They gave us 2 days in committee to talk about massive tax changes. 2 days. 4 months to talk about massive tax changes. The last time it happened 40 years ago took 4 years to make similar changes to our tax code. Why the rush? Why are they in such a hurry to get these things done? My constituents have asked me that every single day. Why the panic? Why the extreme rapidity to try and get these things done? The only answer that I can come up with is they need the money now. It's that simple. They see an opportunity to try and make their balance sheets look a little better, certainly not balanced, but maybe a little bit better. And to do that, they are going to rob our small businesses, our farmers, our ranchers, and our professionals to try and help their financial spreadsheet. And that is just not right. And it's disappointing that that is the answer that I have to give to my constituents. And we've heard over and over again from the Finance Minister that he's out there listening. Well, I've had phone calls and emails from small business owners and professionals across the country. And I'll give you a great example. Two business owners from Nova Scotia. One has a sporting goods store. The other one is a rural doctor. They went to go and see their Liberal member of Parliament to discuss these tax changes. You know what the response was when they went to his office? Closed door. I'm sorry, our member of Parliament is not taking meetings on this issue. A Chamber of Commerce in Nova Scotia invited two Liberal members of Parliament to their town hall to talk about these tax changes. It was a great opportunity for those Liberal members of Parliament to step in front of their constituents, their small business owners, the ones that they profess that these tax changes aren't going to hurt. It was their chance to stand up in front of them all and explain how this isn't going to impact them. They didn't show up. So for the Liberals to come in for the last 4 months to talk about how much they're listening to Canadians, I'm not sure what their definition of listening is when their constituents can't even get in the front door or can't even get a meeting with their member to talk about their concerns, or at least have an opportunity for that Liberal member of Parliament to explain these tax changes to them and maybe address some of their concerns. So to say that they are listening, I think is false. But who is listening is the Conservative Party and the official opposition. Yep. We have held town halls, community meetings, roundtables in every single province of this country. I know I've held several in my riding. It is unanimous. People are concerned. They are worried that they're going to be losing their small business, their ability to sell that business to their next generation. Our farmers and ranchers are worried about how they are going to be able to maintain the legacy of their family farm. Those are the things that we are hearing. So for our Liberal friends across the way to say over and over today that the majority, the people that they're hearing from have no concerns with these changes, it's just, I don't know who they're hearing this from. The Canadian Chamber of Commerce, the Western Wheat Growers Association, the Canadian Cattlemen's Association, the Canadian Cattle Feeders Association, the Canadian Medical Association. All of these groups have come out and spoken in opposition to these tax changes. That's just a fraction of the ones that we have heard from. And I'm sure if you ask all of us on the Conservative side, we could give you lists and lists of groups and associations, professional associations, agriculture associations, small business groups, Chamber of Commerce across the country, who have spoken openly in opposition to these changes. The first thing they are asking for is give us more time. Give us more time to understand these changes. I've heard from several accountants, tax lawyers, who have said in 70 days there just simply isn't enough time for us to possibly understand every scenario, every situation, every ramification that could come from these tax changes. These are the people who are going to be having to talk to their clients and explain the implications that these will have on their livelihood. So if even the professionals who deal with these changes or tax code every single day don't understand them, how can we possibly expect your average Canadian to try and live with these changes? And more than 80% of the small business owners that we've heard from are in opposition to these tax changes. But I would also like to talk about my farmers and my agriculture community. They are looking at this as another blow to losing their family farm. You talked about a carbon tax, eliminating the deferral on cash grain tickets. Now these tax changes. It's going to be almost impossible for them. For us on the Conservative side, we do not see that you should be punishing those who are working hard to be successful, to grow a business, to create jobs. We should be celebrating them, thanking them, and ensuring they have every tool possible to be successful. As Conservatives, we will not support these tax changes. We are asking our colleagues to extend the consultation period at least until January 31st, 2018. Thank you, Madam Speaker.